Today I'm fitting some new rear windscreen trim. Saab 93 Saloon is well known, almost infamous in fact, for the screen trims round the rear screen deteriorating and the rubber layer breaking apart, the flip splitting, and they're very expensive to replace with originals. Anyway, after much searching, I've tried a number of other products without success, but I believe that I've found an alternative that can be fitted with success and that looks good. So stick with me, let me show you. In this video here, I discussed these rear window trims, but a quick recap for how to get them off. The corner piece you can just hook out with a screwdriver quite easily, and then the longer pieces against the edge of the windscreen, get a small screwdriver into the trim, lift it up, and out it comes. This one's in a very poor state. Not as bad as some I've seen on Facebook forums. Give the edge of your window and the channel a clean down with some water and a soft nylon brush and let it dry. Before fitting it to the screen, cut it to length, just slightly longer than the length you're going to fit, because you can always trim it off afterwards. To fit this section, start at the corner and push the lower leg of the H into the channel. Hold the portion you've done down with one finger, twist upwards so that the flap goes over the windscreen and the other leg of the H goes down into the channel. You could use a lolly stick as a spatula to do this. Gradually move your finger along a sort of ½ centimetre at a time to hold it down, because if you don't hold it down it'll just pop back up. It's a proper wriggly little snake, this stuff, but what you'll find is once you've got most of the way along it'll stay in quite nicely. If you're getting value from this video, please don't forget to like it down by the title. So to recap, twist the leg into the channel and over the screen. Now you could put a little bit of liquid soap inside that H to help to lubricate it as you're doing it along there. Don't use washing up liquid. The salts that are in washing up liquid or dish soap will attack the rubber. But sugar soap is probably the best to use, although you could use a little bit of ordinary liquid hand wash. And just keep moving along, doing that a bit at a time. At this end, at this corner, I've mitered the two corners, but there are several ways you could treat the corners. I'll come to that in a minute. And just keep moving along like this. It's quite slow progress. It doesn't exactly fall into place, so you will need a large dose of perseverance and patience. Once you get halfway across the top, or even a little less than halfway, you'll probably want to get something to stand on over here. It's important to make sure that the lower leg of the H that's inside the channel there is tucked underneath the screen. The glue that holds the screen in may well have a little bit of a wibbly wobbly edge, so that may prevent it going under properly in some places, in which case there's not much you can do about that. I've mitered this corner. I cut them beforehand, either on a workbench or perhaps using a wooden chopping board or something. Put the seal along the edge, and then with a fresh, very sharp blade, place the blade where you're going to cut it, either straight or angled, and then because it's rubber all the way through, simply press the blade through the rubber and it will cut nice and smooth and straight. You could always rub a little bit of silicone sealer into that just to hide that corner, or a little bit of rubber cement from a cycle puncture repair kit. Another alternative would be to cut them both square ends and just butt them up together. And then if you're left with a little gap, again, a little rubber cement. I wish I'd done that myself, actually. Don't forget to do exactly the same job across the top of the front windscreen, because the top seal on the front windscreen is exactly the same as the top seal on the rear. At the bottom of the rear screen, because you cut the length a little bit longer in the beginning, you'll have a little excess. Keep your fingers away from where you're going to cut, but if you press it up against the screen and cut only on the downward stroke, use your wooden spatula just to protect your paintwork, and there we go. Okay, not the very neatest job in the world, but of course you can't see that when the boot lid is closed. You could squeeze a little black silicone sealer up into that triangular space there, perhaps wipe a little across the ends there just to finish it off. Even if I do say so myself, I'm quite happy with this. It almost looks like it's meant to be there. Designed for the job, you might say. I'll put links to this rubber seal down in the description in the usual fashion, and I shall see you on the next video.